you tired of all the noise and speculation in the news? On Hard Facts, we cut through the clutter and get straight to the truth.
If only Fubra has been aware of the boo-boo trap, he would have understood in democracy there are bases for everybody to do accordingly.
Join us as we bring you the stories that matter. We go beyond the headlines to uncover the real facts and the core of every story.
We are doing this, we are doing that. At the end of the day, nothing good will come out. What did they promise us? They will be in charge of security and life and water. But what are we getting in return?
With in-depth analysis and experts interviews, Hard Facts delivers the truth that others dare not to reveal. Tune into Hard Facts every weekday, 3 to 6 p.m. and arm yourself with the knowledge you need to navigate today's complex world. Hard Facts, where the truth always prevails.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk. .3 Nigeria Info. It's a brand new week. 7 minutes gone past the 3 o'clock hour. Officially welcoming you to Hard Facts. It's the nation's #1 talk news and sports radio station. We're broadcasting live from audiovisual studios right here in Maryann Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. My name is Maryann Okon. I want to thank you all for joining us on the conversation today. It's an abridged version, by the way, guys. I Beg to Differ starts today. We've been waiting for it to come, and here it is. It is going to be a tournament where these youngsters go head to head in a bid to become a champion. They'll be debating on all issues, whether it be social, economic, political. They will be talking about it. And I tell you what really gets me with these debates is just how smart these kids are and what's going on in their heads. And I think back and I wonder if I was this smart. Well, I considered myself smart back in the day, but these kids, they give me a run for my money. But yes, of course, Yvonne and Femi Obong-Daniels will be here from 4 o'clock. The opening acts are always the best, of course. It tells you what the speed, what, the vibe of the competition is going to be going forward. So you do not want to miss it. So welcome to the show. From 4 p.m. till 6 p.m., I Beg to Differ. A new season begins. Once again, my name is Maryann Okon. Welcome to Hard Facts. Unfortunately, because this is an abridged version of the show, we're not going to be doing too much of the big three stories. We will be going down the line, but today we want to talk about the hunger crisis in Nigeria. Many might not necessarily posit that this is a crisis of sorts. Many would say that it's not necessarily a crisis. It's just a turn in events, and for something to be good, it has to go bad first. You know, that thing that the government is throwing around. Well, we are having a hunger crisis, and I'll tell you why. We're going to be talking about it, and some of our reporters went into town to find out from people who sell in the market what the purchasing power of the average Nigerian is today and how market. And you get to hear firsthand from the people in our Mile 2 market about the situation of things. We're going to also touch on the issue of malnutrition. The fact that, before now we would have a nutritionist who is telling us you have to have your proteins, you have to have your this, and you need to count your calories, you need to do blah, blah, blah. Nobody's talking about that now. Everybody's just trying to get food in their stomach so they can survive to the next day. And so malnutrition is topping the charts. The eggs that used to find their way to the table, the butter, the yogurts, they're all missing now. Half the average person is just looking for a little bit of rice and some pepper and things to just mix and have some concoction, whatever they call it. Some other people are just looking for a little vegetable here and there to mix and do some concoction and use it to eat it, just to hold the belly. You understand? Welcome to the show, Lagos. Well, let's go into the business for today. I will start with some statistics and then I'll go into the markets, let you know what Nigerians are thinking. And then, of course, I'm going to ask you where we go from here, because whether we like it or not, how we survive this phase and move forward all lies with us.
There's a reason why over 1 million people tune into Hard Facts every day. We discuss in-depth stories with sources behind the facts.
The Lagos State High Court has convicted, suspended the Chicago certificate story. It's never going away, is it? Show with stories for the day.
You hear diverse voices and opinions.
And she was meeting her friend with her husband, knowing that.
You should not feel happy because there is nothing to happy about.
Yeah, it's quite pathetic the way the country is going.
We distinguish each story accurately with analysis.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Hard Facts.
Yes, it is Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're live, facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. And you can join the conversation from outside of the country via Skype, Nigeria Info FM. We're also on WhatsApp at 08095975805. Let's talk about the hunger situation in the country. The Punch newspaper put it very succinctly, and I want to read that excerpt from the Punch newspaper to paint a little bit of a picture, by the way, so that you understand where I'm coming from. So you don't, for those who might think that, this is Maryann, she's against the government. So you'd not consider me an alarmist. You'd understand where I'm coming from. And if you obviously live in this country and you live in Lagos and you go about your business every other day, you'd obviously see what's happening. You'd see what's happening on a day-to-day basis. And there's something that Rapuruchiko always says when he calls into the show. He talks about the fact that children are eating out of bins. The children are so hungry. It's the children that his heart goes out to. A caller called on Joyce's show some time ago talking about the fact that he couldn't explain to his kid why bread has disappeared from the menu, why he can't afford bread, because every other day daddy will come home with bread, but now there's no bread. He's unable to explain it. That's how bad the situation is. But let's go to the Punch newspaper's report on this hunger situation that we're facing. The headline for that story says, Hunger. Children scavenge for leftovers at parties and at prayer houses. I'll tell you what, I live close to a mosque. And that mosque, there's a mosque somewhere in close to Durosimieti. Kids are always there for every prayer session because they're trying to get food off anybody, just anybody, whatever they can get. Now, the Punch newspaper says economic woes continue to befall Nigerians due to the rising cost of living, job loss, unemployment, and low patronage in businesses. These are all taking a toll on many. Economy and Lifestyle of the Vanguard newspaper discovered that adults are not only the recipients of these woes, as they have extended to children. The findings, according to the Vanguard newspaper, reveals that due to hunger and the quest for survival, many parents have let out their children to scavenge for leftover food at parties. Apart from that, children have left roadside and street begging. They also visit prayer houses to beg. Now, knowing fully well that their needs cannot be neglected in such places, these children have to show up because they know that, no matter how bad things are, the imam or the pastor or the priest is going to say, come on, give the children some bread or something. Now, Vanguard also encountered a little girl called Margaret on a church premises. She was with a big sack and looked very famished. She approached the reporter and begged for money or food just to eat, pointing to two shabbily dressed boys at the other end. She explained, and I quote, I'm 8 years old. My mother is sick and my father doesn't live with us. My brothers and I heard that they were sharing food and money in this church, and that is why we're here with a sack to carry some food home to our mother. And she said, please help us. We haven't eaten since yesterday. That's what Margaret said. It's a picture that breaks your heart immediately, especially if you have kids. Imagine that you're so broke, you're unable to feed your children so much that you send them out to beg. Say they need to party, pack anything where you see, make una so that una go get food to chop for night. That's how bad the situation is. I'll take you to the market also. So you hear from the people who are selling food and food items, if they're making a turnover to start with, if people are even able to buy as they used to buy, or even if people are even buying at all. I was on my way to work with a colleague and we were just looking at the streets. It's empty. It's like a ghost town. At rush hour, when you're supposed to do school runs, the roads are empty. It's that bad. But hey, I like to talk statistics because this is hard facts. So let's talk about the statistics for hunger in Nigeria just this year. Now, for the 2024 Global Hunger Index, Nigeria ranks 110th out of 127 countries with sufficient data to calculate the 2021 Global Hunger Index scores. We're not a war-torn country. Maybe famine is around the corner, but we don't have famine. And we're 110th out of 127. Now, these are some of the indices that are used to measure it. Conflict and insecurity, the rising inflation and the impact of climate crisis, which continues to drive the hunger in Nigeria. Now, let me tell you, with 26.5 million people across the country projected to face acute hunger between June and August of 2024 lean season. 26.5 million out of 200 plus million. And that's just the statistics that they could capture. It could be more. This is what your president said the last time he addressed us as a country. I quote, "I understand that we're hungry, but no free beer parlor anymore." That's what the president told us. He called on us to remain patient despite the high cost of living, stating that the country can no longer expect a free bowl without addressing its economic challenges. He made this remark when he visited, by lawmakers, former lawmakers in the State House in Abuja. He acknowledged the hunger in the country, but emphasized that there is no free beer parlor, using the metaphor to highlight the real development that requires time and effort. Meanwhile, the government has declared a state of emergency on food security, if you've been watching the news. Prices of food items continue to soar. And of course, the trajectory is not changing anytime soon. I don't know if there's any time in this country where the prices of things go up and then they come back down. Has it? We're in November and it seems like it's running in sneakers. December is just around the corner. And you know what happens just before the Yuletide season? The prices of things continue to soar. Right now, as it is, the average person cannot afford it. A quarter bag of rice, I'm going to find out how much it is. If you're a market person, if you sell rice, you sell beans, what's the price per bag and a quarter and half? I'd like to know. Because NLC has come out also to say, hey, the cost of living is rising high. There's no changes. The promises that were made to us, none of them have been kept. And we're going on a strike. What will that change? Let's talk about the purchasing power of Nigerians. GDP per capita. Trading Economics predicts that Nigeria's GDP per capita will reach about $5,854 by the end of 2024. Household disposable income statistics. Nigeria's forecast household disposable income for 2024 will be about 0.91 cents. So below $1. Disposable income. We can't even afford. That's less than 1,700, right? There's also statistics that shows that Nigeria's total consumer spending will be $162,000. $162.07 billion in 2024. Now, inflation, which we know is a double-digit inflation, the highest of the highest that we've ever experienced. The World Bank actually is predicting that headline inflation will peak at an average annual rate of 31.7% in 2024. However, a little bit of good news. They also predict that inflation might fall to 14.3% by 2027. In the meantime, how do we survive? Let's talk about poverty, because, they say that, we're exaggerating this issue of poverty. Nigeria cannot be the poverty capital of the world. It's just a smear campaign. The World Bank, who is your friend, who's been advising your government, estimates that 47% of Nigerians right now live in poverty. Or they live below the poverty line, which is $2.15. That's 1,007 as at today, times 2, and a few cents sprinkled on it. The purchasing power is a measure of population's disposable income, which is income without taxes and social security contributions. Now, in 2024, this year, household disposable income per capita in Nigeria is forecast to be about, I've told you, less than $1. Consumer spending on food and non-alcoholic beverages in Nigeria is forecast to be about $0.44 thousand in 2024. Let's talk about our children. I'm giving all the statistics before I open up the phone lines. I want us to understand the situation of things. The severe child poverty in Nigeria. According to UNICEF, 11 million children in Nigeria, that is 1 in 3 children under the ages of 5, are experiencing severe childhood poverty. This means that they consume no more than 2 out of 8 food groups. So acute malnutrition. Save the Children actually says that about 5.4 million children in Nigeria are at the risk of acute malnutrition since April of this year. And that as we speak, there is a 25% increase since April to now. International Red Cross supported facilities treated about 8,470 cases of severe acute malnutrition in the third quarter of 2024, a 24% increase from the same period in 2023. There's a serious problem. So there's poor food consumption, poor health-seeking behaviors, poor health services. Don't forget, hospitals are closing down because the cost of living is so high that they can't even keep their doors open. There's limited access to water, sanitation, and hygiene. I told you guys before that there is a place that borders the FCT that they don't have clean water in this country, let alone seafood to eat. So we have a huge problem that's intertwined, because you can't talk about food without talking about water, and then healthcare, and the cost of living, and your purchasing power, and your salary, the other bills that you have to pay. Now I hear that to rent house now is an arm and a foot, and so I'll tell you what, I think I told you guys last week that I saw a lady very well dressed. She obviously has a day job that she goes to, but she doesn't have a roof over her head. So when she's done with work, she's just around my street area. She just finds a nice place, spreads her wrapper, lays down at night. And these number of people are increasing. I tried to get the Lagos state government to come talk about it, because they are trying to remove these people from sleeping on the streets.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.4.
We'll be right back.
3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This November, prepare for an epic clash of intellects. I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Competition is back. November the 11th, 2024, 32 of Lagos's brightest secondary school students will step up to the mic, where words become weapons and ideas ignite battles. From Monday, November the 11th at 4 p.m., they'll face off in fierce debates with only one goal: to be crowned the I Beg to Differ champion. Every round is a fight for glory, where one brilliant mind will rise above the rest. Who will be crowned the champion of thought? The ultimate showdown of wit, wisdom, and will is about to begin. I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Competition Season 8 commences Monday, November the 11th at 4 p.m. For sponsorship, please call or WhatsApp 0805-581-5844. I Beg to Differ is proudly supported by Card Center Nigeria Limited,
Codros Group,
Obi-Wizzy, and Lucas Green Fashion House.
Prize money sponsor, Tollywood College Lagos. Mom's love is pure. It's so she does. Mom's special jollof puts a smile on your face. Mom's yummy fries cheers you up. Mom's tasty stew nourishes the family. Golden Terra oil, tasty. Golden Terra oil, nourishing. Golden Terra oil, Golden Terra soya oil.
Golden Terra oil helps mom pour her love in the tasty, nourishing meals she cooks for her family. Golden Terra oil, pour pure love.
Lagos, get ready for a opinion of the round table. This is where Nigeria's biggest radio voices, your favorite top OAPs on Nigeria Info FM, come together to dissect the most impactful stories of 2024.
The cost of electricity is going to make Nigerians more sick.
As much as the governor is saying that this is all about resource control.
You see, this public statement, of course, reflects the Nigerian mentality.
And so here we have a Nigeria where one day you speak about fuel price, the next day you must consider diesel.
Most of these governors are just there. They have no idea.
From seismic economic shifts to explosive social movements, nothing is off the table.
For 5 weeks, it was one bad story or the other.
You're beginning to wonder what's happening with government agencies. Who is ensuring that the individuals...
Why would the minister walk out of you? The same minister will resume to the same office the following day.
Join us for an intense conversation, bold insights, and moments that define this unforgettable year. The Round Table. Monday, November 25th at 9 a.m. It's the ultimate gathering of Nigeria's most influential voices, all bringing their sharpest takes on stories that matter. The Round Table. Don't miss this dramatic wrap-up on Nigeria Info FM, where 2024's biggest stories come to life. The Round Table. Let's talk. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Fact. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories, you know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info, and I am Maryann Okon. We're talking about the hunger crisis that Nigeria is facing right now, whether we believe it or not. The statistics to prove it. And there's you and I, and day to day, to prove it. Now, I was telling you about the gentleman who bread has disappeared from the table and he's unable to explain to his kid. There was an Uber driver who also told a friend of mine that he's a spy police officer, but his take home no longer takes him home, so he decided to add to it by driving an Uber. Still not enough. 3 of his kids have been withdrawn from school to stay at home because he can't afford to pay their school fees. And all he's doing is to just make sure that there's food on the table, at least. At least. That is where we are. But then our reporter went into Mile 2 Market and spoke to some of the market people. And this is what they had to say. Take a listen. When we come back, the phone lines are open. We're live. Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. How are you coping? What is the eating situation in your home today? It's okay. It's a judgment-free zone. But we're also looking to find ways that we can solve our problem. And how do we get government to really understand? Because I had the presidential spokesperson here, and he said, the government understands our pain. They understand what we're going through. And I'm saying, what have the government done that can show the average person that they understand where the shoe pinches, and that they're really indeed trying to ameliorate our sufferings in the interim? But take a listen. These are the people at the Mile 2 Market here in Lagos.
I'm coming on now, 1.2 million. Wallahi, don't cost well. Baba Tinubu, don't support Nigeria. Yeah, the thing what they do now. Wallahi, don't be smart, yo. I sell meat yesterday, I don't see money. I sold 50,000 naira. Monday, I sold 10,000. That money way me. Nah, 24,000 naira.
Too cost, very cost. All the money where person go see, they don't collect all of them, please. It's too much, this fish. Very cost, yo. It's too cost. It's too cost, yo. If the person buy 60 something thousand, the money will go pay for fees. The money will go remain walai. You know, go remain like 3,000, 4,000 inside the one quarter. When person they buy at 60 something thousand. Make you ever beg and move. Make you reduce money for the marketing for the fish.
Before they sell okra, they sell okra 3,000, 1,500. Now, person want buy okra now they go 20,000 naira that they sell okra now. You know, say it's no good. All of them too cost. That's what says too cost. No anything for Nigeria self, no anything. This market self, it took no anything. See market now. Market no move. Now so be market. All of them.
Market it cost you. It cost. Pepper it cost. Onions it cost. One bag of pepper is 40,000 naira. One bag for onions is 150,000.
Bag of rice 78,000. Small one. Long one is 120. The two one they selling before 32,000. And they selling small one before is 38. Now I can sell it 78,000. Bag of beans where they sell last year where you go is 100k. Now it's 260. Bag of gari last year is one bag of red one is 13,000. And they selling now 45,000 because fuel is cost too much. As a fuel cost, money is doubling. That's why I make it because the price is going up. That's why they afraid make it go to help us. So I better make it this government help us, make it the thing come down very well. Because people they cry too much. Food now is very cost. If they're working for 100,000 now, you know go take care of it for you.
Nigeria, they are tired. They don't have what to eat. And people that have what to eat, they can't even use the money. If you want like things we used to buy before, like 10,000, we can use it to buy like we selling provision. We can use like 100,000 and get things like 5 carton. But now that 100,000 will buy like 2 carton alone.
You can actually tell the frustration in their voices, can't you? You can tell that there is no hope. But yes, we were sold a hope agenda. Where's the hope? Is there anything, any shred of it that we can hold on to? Well, the government is saying, yes, there is. Yes, there is. But where is it? How are you coping? Let's talk Lagos. 0201 2770 993 0201 465 7190. You can join the conversation on WhatsApp. It's 0809 5975 875. 805, I beg your pardon. And you could join the conversation. We're live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook. Post your comments on the live feed. If you're listening from outside of the country, you want to be part of the conversation, join us via Skype. We are at Nigeria Info FM. We'd like to hear your thoughts and let's talk. I want you to bare your souls, bare your heart, because we're being realistic here and we're not attacking anyone. We're talking about the reality of the Nigerian situation today. Where do we go from here? Let's talk. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Maryann Okon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. How are you today?
Good. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Emeka is my name from Satellite Town.
Go ahead.
You see, Maryann, there's no gainsaying that the level of hardship in the country has increased astronomically. Most of us now have more dependence than we used to have. We now have to spend more than we used to. Look at the interview that was granted to people in the market. That is just a tip of the iceberg. Let me tell you something. It's going to get worse. Reason being that we now have a new terrorist group, right? They're going to chase the remaining farmers out of the land, out of the farms. So it's going to get worse. Without good policy, you will not have good governance. And how do you get good policy when you have the right leaders in place? Right leaders that will come up with homegrown economics that is peculiar to us as Africans and as Nigerians. Not the kind of policies dished out to us by IMF and World Bank, whose policies are only to serve their own interests. We need good leaders. And how do we do that? We now have to start interrogating the process now. So that process of bringing the people to power, these statistocrats and kleptocrats, we will have to eliminate that process. Then we can now talk of reforms, electoral reforms and institutional reforms that will bring the right people in place. Because we need the right leadership to get things right in this country. Otherwise, it's going to get worse. Insecurity is on the rise. Go to the southeast, go to Anambra, go to Oka, see the killing all over the place. Now, rather than secret agencies to direct the energy to those people, whenever you shout a being power or come out in the street to say end hunger, you are being arrested and charged for treason. So, Nigerians, this is the time to start interrogating the process now against 2027 because there's nothing we can do to those in power now.
Thank you very much, Emeka, for calling. I do appreciate it. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Maryann Amaka.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Joy from Eba.
Go ahead, Joy.
Please, the sister, what we are discussing is a very serious problem in this country. This hunger, our little children begging, going to where they are doing party. You can see even elderly ones, well dressed. You don't know that they have nylon inside their bag. You will see fine bag. You don't know that they have nylon. There is problem in the country. Oh. I'm just praying every day that what happened.
Nigerians have been praying since they were born. What has the prayer done? We keep praying and we're not acting.
Listen to me. No, listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that what I experienced when I was small during Nigeria Biafran War, malnutrition, kwashiorkor, so that it will not happen again. That is what I'm saying. Let's kwashiorkor not hold these children from 5 years. Because I witnessed the whole thing. I think you were not born during that period. We are not born.
I think you need to tighten your prayer belts because you're going to pray more. Thank you for calling, though. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Hello. All right, you're going to call us back when you're ready, yeah? Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Good afternoon. I can barely hear you. Oh, your line is terrible. Can you call me back, please? You need to call me back. I can barely hear you, sir. Please call me back. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Mrs. Oboli, you're calling us from Ikorodu.
Sweetheart, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Maryann, whoever says you are exaggerating or blowing this hunger issue out of proportion is living in a fool's paradise. Your statistics are quite correct, but permit me to add the fact that even elders, adults are scavenging for food, Maryann. As it stands now, from all indications, no mincing words, we are raising a kwashiorkor generation. Remember they used to tell us an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Maryann, how many parents can say they can give their children apple?
How much is an apple today, really?
God will bless you, Maryann. Me inclusive. How many, Maryann? A bag of rice, depending on the one you want to buy, ranges from 800 to 120 thereabouts. If you want the stony ones, it's there. If you want the polished ones, it's there. If you want the other different types, but starting from 80 to, so now do the math. You have to buy quarter or half bag. In my 43 years of existence, Maryann, I have never seen any weather fish. And in my food, I don't 500 and
yeah, thank you for calling. I said the start of Scotty or had to bring it. I remember this one.
Hello.
Please.
How are you?
I'm fine. Where calling from?
Let me narrate to you. As a photographer, I have a lot of children that are fond of me because I usually coordinate them and take them to our holiday Bible school every year. Many of them. This afternoon, tears was about to roll down my cheeks because one of these children just came in from school and called me. They used to call me Uncle P. They said, Uncle P, do you know I've not eaten since morning? And this is a girl that just come back from school. And the other day, the two of them that don't have a father, they don't have a mother, and the mother is just trying to see how to make ends meet. They came to me, these two sisters, and told me that they have not eaten since morning and they are just back from school. I wonder how they were able to cope in the school, how they could concentrate. Miriam, the worst situation of it is that in those days, you can give a little girl like that, as I used to do for them. Okay, I drank Gary, go and drink Gary, I'll give 200 naira. Miriam, 700 naira to drink Gary this afternoon, 700. Wow. Granite, 200. Gary, 300. And then sugar, 100. Then water. For these two sisters, I have to buy extra Gary for them to drink. Miriam, how can little children coming back from school, from morning they have not eaten and they just drink Gary for 700 naira? You will go now and withdraw 5,000 naira with these children. So, for me, like you said about that man, my concern is about these children. Miriam, children are no longer eating and go to school, majority of them. And that somebody will tell you, I understand your situation. Do you understand that situation to make it great? You understand that situation to ameliorate it? Tinubu just understand a situation to make us, in fact, more vulnerable to those situations, to suffer most. And then they put the food on our chest, sit down, press our hands down, and sit on our laps and eat this food and tell us, open the eyes.
Thank you very much for calling. Peter, thank you. I appreciate it. Let's go to all the callers. Turn off your radio, please.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
On the line.
Go ahead.
From Janike.
Go ahead.
Madam, no be play, no be joke. Hungry is killing Nigeria. For me, before I eat now, I make sure say my children say thank you. Daddy, there's some children in my house. They always come every evening. They are my number children. They will say they want to come and watch film. They want to come and watch TV. Not TV. Oh. They have looked the time. They know that there will be food in my table. I will carry my own and give to them. Maybe I will not eat sometimes. Because my wife said the food have already finished. I said, this one I keep for me, give to these children. These my neighbor's children. The woman will be listening to me now. I'm talking to you because they already hear my name. Every day, 4 children. Add to my own 4, that's 8. Every day in my house. Every evening. Maryann, no be play. And these people, they're telling us to come and pray. We should come and pray for Nigeria. That's why I'm hungry for all those pastors. All those people call themselves men of God in this country. Who cannot say anything now. All of them have their feet quiet. Every day, they'll be telling them, clapping hands, offering, tithe. Bring your offering, bring your tithe. What are they doing with the offering tithe now? Now that Nigeria is hungry, they cannot say, okay, so church, we declare food. Whether you're a member, you're not a member, come and carry food.
All right.
Let them do it.
Thank you.
You understand?
Thank you
Maryann,
for calling.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you for calling. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Join the conversation. We're talking about the hunger crisis in the country. I've given you statistics. I've taken you to the market. I've even told you what the Vanguard is saying. Kids are now being told by their parents to go find food, go to parties, churches. There's always food there. Anything, carry nylon. Anything they give you, put. Because that's what we're going to eat today. That's how bad the situation is. And we're not a war-torn country, by the way. The cost of living continues to soar. I was telling you guys that the average person right now is not thinking about nutrition. He's just thinking about survival. Mix most in day my belly. How long can we continue like this? And where do we go from here? I'd like to hear from you. 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. On WhatsApp, you can join the conversation on 080-959-75805. I've not eaten bread in a bit because I'm, fit famine, trying to get a flat tummy. Because, it's not easy to be 41 and look this good. I'm joking. So I recently had a house guest and I thought to myself, hey, let me just go get some bread. And it's interesting how much bread is. So when that man, that God bless his heart, called in to say bread's disappeared on the table, because you have too many options today. You either have the option of saving the bread money and adding it to money to buy fuel so that you can have a little light at night to save the food that you struggle to buy and cook and put in the fridge, or save that money for bread and use it to pay their transport to school and buy small biscuits for them, or save that money for bread and add it to buy fuel in the car so you can take them to school. And the options are more. You can also save that money for bread to buy 2 cups of beans, soak it to swell, then you cook it. At least the kids can eat. That's how bad it is. But where do we go from here? Because government on the one hand is telling us that, don't worry, you're going to have to go through this little rough patch, before we get to Uhuru, if there is one. But in the interim, how do we manage? Oh, by the way, it's not even what is dominating the airwaves, and I'm going to tell you why, because we're complicit. I keep saying it. We, the media, we're complicit. So everyone's talking about Dangote versus the federal government, rich people's problems, and how they're politicking. I listened to the Ip Man person today on the show with Kofi. There's so much politics. It smacks of all kinds of politics. But the person that suffers the most is you and me. Because our whole economic system is powered by petrol. Our generators have to be on because the grid keeps collapsing and coming back to life every second of the day. The light in itself is not coming, and you're still paying through your nose. And so you still need to buy fuel. You need to buy petrol. You need that petrol also for your car. You need it if you're running a business. You need that petrol for your generator in your business place to barb. If you run a restaurant and you run a hotel, I am so sorry, guys. My heart goes out to you, because if you have one person coming to eat, you return on the jet. If you run a hotel and it's one person who's lodging, you turn on the gen. Oh, and yes, you turn on the AC. But if we did have a powered country where we have energy, and so people just go to the filling stations just to buy fuel for their cars, we'd probably not be having this problem, would we? But the moment the fuel takes a hit, everything takes a hit. Do we blame the Nigerian people? Because at some point, the government said, oh, Nigerians are wasting fish and rice. Excuse you, sir. So all of these policies and programs that government keeps telling us they're rolling out, what is helping us right now in the interim? How do we survive? Or maybe you and I might have the answer. Oh, they said we should pray. Is your prayer strong enough to undo all the harm that these people who call our leaders have dumped on us? Will it? Or is God just saying, these people, you don't know what to do? I've given you everything that you need, and you're here praying and disturbing me when I have to deal with the children in Lebanon and in Gaza? I don't know. That's just me. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah. How are you?
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
My name is Prince White, calling you from Amodo.
Go ahead, Prince.
Thank you, my dear. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you. You see, when you talk of hunger, yes, that's hunger in the season, the time. Everywhere. But one thing, my religion forbid me to expose what I give to people on the page of newspaper, on the radio. If you do something for somebody, don't expose it, because you are going to get the reward from Almighty. You have to tell all the government today that in Nigeria we are hungry. And I want to urge Nigeria. Some people beg. They're not supposed to beg. We want to work. When we talk about prayer, we have to work to make the prayer work effectively. But if somebody does something for somebody, for me, it is forbidden to come to the prayer, to the radio today. I do this. It's not good at all. It's patronage of my own religion. But when we talk of hungry, there's hunger on the land.
All right. Thank you, Prince Wise, for calling. I appreciate it. I want to go to social media. If you're watching us live on YouTube and on Facebook, post your comments. I'd like to read from you. But I'll start with WhatsApp here. Someone here says, there is hunger in the land. A man walked to my shop now begging for 1K to buy something for his children. He was shedding tears because of evil people. I didn't want to give him, but I was moved to give him. Grace from Igorodu. Okay, Grace, God bless you. This one says, the hunger in Nigeria is man-made. This was not following some natural disaster or unfavorable weather or that negatively impacted food production. It is entirely due to terrible government policies and incompetence of political leaders. Food security is non-negotiable entity in a normal society. Lushoga, thank you for your message. This one says, let me be the host and you be my guest. Sorry, we're not doing that, sir. We are not doing that, sir. But anyway, he says, my question will be, how do we as citizens move beyond talking and letting government feel the pangs of our hunger? I throw the question back to you, sir. He says, this government's body language shows they understand that we have become powerless, helpless, and becoming hopeless, especially proving to us that they don't exactly need our vote to snatch and grab and run with the power, rendering our votes useless. Okay, Lansky, thank you for your message. This one says, okay, you need to talk. Send a message. Please don't send me a voice note. Shala from Moe says, a man used to sell cow meat on the streets. I have known him doing business for over 5 years. For over 3 weeks now, the man's folded up. He's out of business. And you heard the first meat seller from that clip that I played for you from the market. What do we do in the interim? How do we get, because you see, how do we get government to understand that we're tired of the talking? We need to see action, and we need to see relatively actionable plans that can give us short-term solutions now, because the short-term solutions that we need is at least for food to be on the table. Companies are dropping their staff, like, I'm not joking, literally every single day. People are getting the people hungry, people go to school, kids on the streets, and more people begging in traffic. Or sometimes now, these days, they just come by your house and say, anything, even if it's Gary, give me. Is this the hope that we were promised? This one says, if our leaders are sincere with their policy, then there is hope. Okay. Someone here says, my question is, why did the former President Buhari have to commission Dangote refinery? We were under illusion that Dangote would significantly elevate the price of and shorted. No, this message is not for me. He says, while other countries are attracting foreign investors, we're attracting foreign terrorists. Saken says, let us pray. This one says, the solution to our problem is for the government to stop their draconian policies. I'm sure that's what you mean. To imagine that despite the level of hunger in the land, the government still is collecting tax on food and tells the whole story. I repeat, Nigeria has a draconian government who feeds off the blood of its victim. Ajiri from Bariga sent us this one. Mustafa says, it's unfortunate we find ourselves in this unbearable situation. We're being ruled by demons. They are only interested in taxing Nigerians. They have nothing to offer than to steal, kill, destroy our economy. We need urgent solutions and we can't continue crying on the radio. Yummy. Thank you for your message. I have very little time. This one says, you're painting a doom and gloom picture as if President Tinubu deliberately plunged the people into poverty. A sudden president came in and shut the borders. Food prices shot up and bandits took over farming villages, resulting in food shortages. 22 trillion was borrowed from Ways and Means. CBN was busy printing money and staggering 97 FM. If it was someone else who sent this message, I would have been shocked. But yeah, thank you for sending your message. We acknowledge it. Taiwo from Ikeja says, all this is happening in Nigeria today. It's happening in other countries too. What I know is this. No matter the emotional cry, emotional shout, this present government will be there till 2031. Taiwo, thank you. Someone said them sell head of fish and they throw away my head of fish. I go to sell them now. Lucky from Moe. What we want this information. We want a lot of crying, and if you purchase it's a treason of felony, and then got and of course this after a public cap, then we forget that we purchase. We're hungry. Are you still hungry? Oh, you're still hungry. Why are you quiet then? Oh, someone is saying that we've been mentally raped and that we have been conquered mentally, so we're unable to even ask for our rights any longer, and so we just keep silent and just call the radio station to complain. But does your situation change? This is what I want you to come away with. When you get off the radio, or when I get off the radio, start thinking how long you can continue in this situation, how long you will be able to last, how long will your children be able to last.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
That special secret that awakens taste buds. Watch when wonder with awesome aroma. Terra seasoning cubes.
Terra seasoning cube turns your meals into a masterpiece.
Unwrap joy, unleash taste. Hey, come cook with Terra cubes. Come cook with Terra.
No buy am. But why? No see say this big bull bag of rice no get the new big bull holographic seal.
Not true.
Introducing the Big Bull Holographic Seal Tape, your favorite authentic
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.